Welcome to the best gambling podcast on the internet. Make sure you go check out my Week 7 Vegas spread picks if you like making this money. Now let's get to the Week 7 over-unders. Let's start with Thursday night. We got the Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles, over-under 44. I have this going over, and a lot of people are telling me, Lawson, the Giants are the 10th ranked defense in the NFL. Like, honestly, if you had to really make a decision right now, you think they're the 10th best ranked defense. And I know Philly has a lot of injuries, but Wentz, I actually like what I'm seeing out of him this year. There's been a lot of debate around that, but I'm on the side of Wentz. I like what he's doing. I feel like the Eagles will come in here, and I feel like they'll put up points. But also, I think the Giants get this run game going. I'll give one example. Yes, they don't have Saquon, but remember that game against the Rams? The Rams have a vicious and brutal front seven, and the Giants were able to run it pretty well. So I think the Giants are able to put up points, use play action with Daniel Jones, and I think Philly will be able to win, but they'll have to score points. Go over here. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals, over under 50.5. When I look at this game, I'm going to go under, just a tad bit under, because Cincinnati's defense, yes, we know Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap are unhappy, but this defense has been performing at an above average level. It's not like it was in 2014 or 2012 with Gunther and them boys. We know that. But I still think Cincinnati will be able to contain this Cleveland team. Plus, I don't think Cincinnati is going to go bonkers against this Browns defense because this Browns defense has maybe the best defensive player in this league, Myles Garrett. We have to look if Joe Mixon is going to play as well. But I think Cincinnati will be able to put up some points, but this goes just a wee bit under. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington football team, over under 46. Money. I'm going over. And Dallas can't stop anyone. And I know you guys are going to say, Lawson, you're contradicting yourself. You said on the Week 7 Vegas spread videos that Washington was the least explosive team in this league. Yes, but this Dallas defense is absolutely putrid and pathetic. I think Washington can scrap 24, 28 points, but also look at it from this angle. I know Dak is hurt, and I know people are feeling the feels because of it. They're feeling down, but I think Dalton gets going, and Zeke the Freak Elliott isn't going to fumble 2 times in this game like last week. This is going to go over, back to over. Next game, we got Detroit against Atlanta, over under 56.5. This is a rather interesting one, my friends, and I'm going to go under here because I'm going to look at situational football right now. Yes, Atlanta can't stop anyone, especially their secondary. And Matt Stafford, he's slowly having a really, really good year. And we know, sorry about that, and we know Atlanta's offense is damn good. We know Atlanta has great pieces on the outside. But this is going to be about situational football. This is going to go under because Detroit, they're going to allow a lot of yards, but when it gets to the red zone, they're going to sit back in zone, and maybe they might get a turnover from Matty Ice, or Atlanta will be kicking field goals. It's hard to go over 56 points if you're kicking 3 or 4 field goals a game. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints, over under 51. I'm going over, and I'm pretty sure about this. We can look at this from a wide variety of angles. I can frame it different ways for you. I'll do that right now. Mike Thomas is back. And listen, I'm not the one who's saying, oh, Mike Thomas is the best receiver in the league. But let's be realistic. He's a top 3 receiver in this league. He's absolutely nasty. Drew Brees has actually looked better than I thought he would this year. This Carolina defense, they fight. They scrap for every inch, and you got to love a lot of the things they're doing, but I don't know if they have the talent, and I think New Orleans is ready to kick this in to high gear. They got the rest. They got time to practice, and then when you look at this New Orleans defense, I'm left a little bit befuddled. They're giving up a lot of big plays, and for some reason, Dennis Allen sends blitz after blitz after blitz, and At times, I don't understand it. And we need to be fair with this Carolina offense. They haven't had McCaffrey, but that doesn't mean they haven't had explosive plays. A Teddy Bridgewater team is actually explosive. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm going over here. I'm pretty damn sure about it. It's a borderline money pick. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets, over under 45. I'm going under because when you look at games like this, we can say Bills are going to put up a lot of points. Bills could put up 28 points, but in this league, for the over-unders to work and work for you, you need a dance partner, and the Jets just aren't a reliable dance partner. We saw how bad they were last week. I don't even think there's that big a difference when you look at Darnold and Flacco. I just think this team is bad. They're unorganized. They're uninspired. Go under because there's a good possibility the Jets just simply don't show up. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Houston Texans, over under 56.5. Money, 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 money. I'm going under, and this is surprising because, yes, the story in this game is Tom Brady beat the living hell out of Aaron the Game Rodgers in front of every single person in the United States, pretty much, who loves football. Everyone saw that game. Everyone saw what transpired. But I think the story of this game is this Green Bay defense, specifically their secondary against Deshaun Watson and this Houston offense. I don't think Houston runs the ball well enough to really keep this Green Bay defense off balance. I think the storyline of this game is more about the Green Bay defense than Aaron the Game Rodgers going off. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. This is a rather interesting one. We got the spread at, some people have it different ones. I'm looking at the consensus. The over-under is 56.5. I'm going over. And one thing that's really bothered me about Arizona this year, even though we've won some money on them, is I felt like this defense would be better. And now you take away Chandler Jones from this defense, and you just wonder, how the hell are they going to stop the second or third best offense in this league, which is the Seattle Seahawks? And we've seen the Seattle team sputter at times on offense, but let's be real. This is a proficient offense. This is a slam dunk type offense. They do what they need to do. If they need to put up 24 to win, they'll put up 24. If they need to chase it and put up 45, they'll do that. Over, because they're going to need points against this Arizona offense. These are two high-octane teams, and I compared the Arizona offense to almost like an E-pill. It just comes at you like, Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the New England Patriots, over under 44.5. I got this going over. And I know people are thinking, I know both defenses are going to show up. I know this is going to be physical. I know it's going to be competitive, but keyword is competitive here. Hear me out. Yes, this could go into the fourth quarter with like a 13-10 scoreline, 17-14 scoreline, but I think this game pops off in the fourth quarter. I think San Fran can find room to work against this New England defense, and I think if they stay patient with the run, it can show dividends in the third and fourth quarter. I'm going over, and I think Cam Newton's going to have a whale of a performance. Not that he has many options to throw to, but this man will be able to create plays against a San Francisco defense that's missing some big players. Let's be realistic. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos, over under 48. I'm going over here, and we can talk about the Chiefs all we want. We know this is the zeitgeist of the NFL. This is the best offense in this league. I can talk about Kelsey, Tyreek, the Thrill Hill, adding Le'Veon Bell, just adding another spice to that spice rack. It's damn near impossible to stop. Did I mention Pat Mahomes? But they got a dance partner coming. And this Denver offense isn't anything dominant. It's not anything special. It's not going to make women go buy magazines by seeing Drew Lock throw into Jerry Jeudy. But Denver's offense will put up some points. They will fight, and that's why I think it goes over. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Las Vegas Raiders, over under 53.5. This was a tough one, and I was thinking about this one for 2 days. I was going back and forth, but I got to go over because I'll talk about Brady in a second, but I love this Las Vegas team. I think they're going to make a push the second half of the season once they get there. But I am a little bit skeptical about this Las Vegas Raiders team pounding the living hell out of Tampa Bay. I'm not expecting like 160, 180 rush yard performance, but you want to know what I am expecting? Some good chunk plays with Carr. Carr's been playing a little bit better this year, and I've liked what I've seen. And then when you look at this Tampa Bay side, you got Brady. And if Brady gets protection, he's going to absolutely maul and terrorize this Las Vegas secondary. Go over here. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Tennessee Titans, over under 52. I'm going over. And this game can go a lot of different ways, and I think this is one of the most interesting games of the weekend, but hear me out. For some reason, Tennessee never seems to understand the pace they need to play at. They need to run the rock more. They need to stay with Derrick Henry more. I understand if you don't want to overuse Derrick Henry, but there's lots of young, hungry backs in this league who are willing to step in and who are willing to help your offense eat, especially if you got a good offensive line. But I see too much throwing with Tannehill. And Tannehill, he's playing decent, but way too much throwing with him. And then another problem with Tennessee is, okay, ever since Mike Vrabel arrived, teams just throw over the top. They give up tons of chunk plays for a good, talented defense. That's why I'm going over. Berger's the wrong guy to play right now if you're giving up chunk plays. I could see this evolving into something of a shootout. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the LA Chargers, over under 49. I'm going under. Not a lot of science here. I think this Jags defense shows up. I hope Minshew got the message that in order for him to keep playing in this league, he's got to cut out the turnovers. If Minshew cuts out the turnovers, I think this goes under. And I like the Herbert hype train. I've been enjoying watching the kid ball out, and it's a breath of fresh air to the Phillip Rivers and Tyrod Taylors of this world. But I'm not in love with this Chargers offense. Next game. We got the Chicago Bears, at the LA Rams, over under 45. I got this going over because I think this escalates into a fourth quarter, 1 possession game, and I think it's going to be extremely close. There's a lot to look at in this matchup, but actually, yes, I'm going to go over, but do not bet this one because I see a lot of variations in this game. The matchup I want to see is Chicago's front seven against this Rams run game. If Chicago shuts them down, I could see them completely shutting down Goff. I could see Goff being in that 10 to 17 point range if Chicago stops this run like they need to. Because the Rams are reliant on the run, not only just to get yards and stay in sequence, but in order for Goff to throw reliably, he needs to play action because he can't sit in the pocket. And it's going to be really interesting to see what Miracle Nick Foles does this game. It's a wait and see with Chicago. You just don't know what you're going to get. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the videos. Lawson wins money.